Welcome to the Hollow Points Podcast. We are glad you decided to tune into another episode where we provide an aggressively therapeutic outlet on topics that many think about but are afraid to speak on. We actually made it to season 4. This should be our best work yet, since we are finally off probation.
So in the interest of current events, this topic came about, and I think it's important that we talk about it, but we get a perspective because we've been charged with having too much of a testosterone-driven point of view of things. So in order to be fair and judicial on the side of justice, we wanted to get the perspective of women who had been through this process and what they may have gone through and what they may think is valuable insight for a woman who's already gone through it or intends on going through it. So basically, as you see on the screen here, in a nutshell, a woman was provided a proposal from a man, and he provided this ring as a gesture to her that he had taken his hard-earned dough and his hard-earned energy and enthusiasm and presented to her. But I believe he may not have gotten all of the right signals or the taste that she preferred. And although I believe it to be a nice ring, she said that she did not like it. And she wants to know, should she just accept it, grin and bear it, suffer in silence is what she put, quote unquote, or should she have a conversation and talk about not accepting the proposal? And then my question to these ladies is, if you are presented a ring in which you don't like, do you say yes to the marriage and no to the ring, or is it a package deal at that point in time? Does that all make sense? And I'll let anybody start.
Perfect sense to me.
Okay.
Who would you like to kick it off to?
I'm gonna have Shonda kick it off, of course, the matriarch.
The yes, you say yes to the ring and no to the no to the ring and yes to the marriage, vice versa.
To the proposal.
To the proposal.
Can you say no to the ring? First of all, how do you turn down the man you love because of the ring?
I can't imagine how you turn him down. The thought of you asking me to be your wife, that trumps the ring to me, because it doesn't matter if it's big or small. It's the idea of us being together forever. That's what it's supposed to be about. So I don't understand, why is that a deal breaker, what the ring looks like.
Any other woman have a different perspective?
Well, Shonda, can I ask Shonda a question?
Okay, go ahead. I'll give it to her.
She hates the ring, though. She
hates the ring. She
sight of
does.
the ring every day. What should she do?
I don't. They need to talk about it, and she needs to decide if she wants to marry the ring or the man that gave it to her.
Any other perspective from any lady on the panel?
Well, go ahead.
ahead, T. No,
Well,
go
I
ahead,
just
T.
have a different opinion because
Okay.
it's just that I feel like if you're in a relationship,
Mhm.
because people can give a grand gesture, but if it's not something that you like, then is it really a grand gesture for you? Now, I'm not saying the ring should define if you get engaged with somebody, if you want to spend the rest of your life with someone. I think that she wants to marry this person, but at the same time, maybe later or shortly after, we need to have a conversation like, listen, I want to marry you, yes. But if this is a symbol of who we are in our relationship, I don't like this ring. I don't like this particular cut. You never asked me how I felt about it, what I liked about it. You just took it upon yourself from what I've read on the story. He never asked anything. He designed it himself. It's everything that he likes.
Yeah.
And maybe it's something he wants to see on her finger, but it's maybe not something that she really likes. And I feel like if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody and you're going to spend forever with somebody, you should be able to have those type of conversations.
And that's true. Let's take a spin on it. What if he has always, he's always the one doing the grand gestures. He's always coming up with this or that for her, and that's what she likes. And it's just this one time, it was something that she didn't like. But he's always been that person. Is this the first time he's done something that she didn't like? Or has it been every time he does something, she doesn't really like it, so she's just been suffering in silence? But this time it's just too much. Because I can't see him spending so much money, or we don't know what it costs, but designing a ring if he hadn't done things for her to surprise her without her input on it before.
Now, I can get with you on that, but then at that point, then we got a relationship where she's just been taking stuff, and maybe she hadn't liked everything he's given to her done, but she's just been quiet about it. And now it's become a bigger thing. And it's like, okay, I really can't just pop
Mhm.
high you
And she
or
has to
whatever.
take
The
accountability
gesture
for
is
that.
still
Exactly.
grand though, right?
And
But
maybe that he has done things, he's hit it. He's nailed it every time, but he has really missed this time. And so at this point, I still think it should still be, like I want to marry. This doesn't. I don't think this should be a defining moment of their relationship and being married. I think it's a symbol. Don't get me wrong, because wedding rings can change over time. You could do it. You can get one 10 years later, 15 years, whatever. And so some people don't even wear them. But if it's not something that she likes, then I also think she just needs to let them know that, like, listen, I want to be with you. I love you, and I appreciate the gesture. This just ain't my style, and it's just not my style, is what she's really saying.
but the gesture was still grand though, right? You said maybe it's not grand to her. It's grand no matter what, right?
The gesture is grand no matter what. But
Okay.
this is my take on it. So you get engaged, which is a super big deal for both, most of the time, the man and the woman. Wear this symbol of your love and you spending the rest of your life together on your finger every single day is the purpose of it. I want to like it. Let me take that back. I want to love it. So how this came about, it was like, she said she didn't like it, and then people start saying she was ungrateful. And it's like, well, I have the right to say I don't like something because it's so I tell you I don't like it, and that's ungrateful. But if I withhold how I feel, and most people think a withhold is a lie, would you rather me be ungrateful or would you rather me like it?
See, and I also think she messed up with, instead of going to him directly and having this conversation, she brought it to the internet.
You could do both.
That was disrespectful. Yeah, but to say I don't like this. I mean, I don't care. He should have gotten her input, somebody input. I mean, if you feel like you know that person enough to where you can design this without any of their input, asking what size, how many carats, whether you want a diamond or another gemstone, you better damn sure nail it. Because if you don't, I'm gonna tell you that I
And
don't like
shapes
it.
and stuff can like really change how a ring looks and
And
stuff
that's
like
just
that. So
my opinion.
it's just details that he just didn't ask her input on.
So here's the situation though. Oh, and ain't it, what is it called in the love language, bro? I know you know all the languages. Is this act of service, or is this what is this, doing your own thing? What part of love language is this?
So I think he missed the boat on this. You can't have a love language in solitude. You can't design this by yourself.
But who says what if
But I
he
think the
actually thought
surprise.
he knew?
Yes,
He
exactly.
actually thought
Thank
he
you.
knew everything that she liked.
Exactly.
Couldn't have.
Damn.
And he
But
got it this wrong.
this is proof that he didn't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
he
Yeah,
didn't
he
know
didn't
everything
know.
about her.
Yeah,
He's still
he didn't
learning.
know.
It's still a
Yeah.
journey, and he need to take a ride.
Yeah, because if she has we're talking about this particular instance. She said, I even changed my nail shape in hopes that I like it better. She don't like a round diamond. If emerald is if emerald is what you like, and no matter what, you've always wanted an emerald cut, you're not gonna be okay with a round diamond. If you like cushion cut, if you like pear, and they get you the total opposite. Now, may it grow on people? Probably. Some people, I mean, but some people, it would just go in a drawer and they would never wear it.
And she
What if
did say
what
she
if she
tried to let it grow on her, and maybe a week. A week was enough for her to know what she like and what she don't like. She seemed to be very sure about what she like and what she doesn't like. And maybe if he took her ring shopping and asked her opinion, he would be very clear of that himself.
Now,
would y'all?
I would not expect him to redo it, but I'm going to tell him that I don't like it. I don't believe that I would want it redone
So
but,
what happens? So how does that work? How does it dictate?
See, I don't know,
okay.
because I feel like I need you to fix this.
Hold on.
Well,
So
I mean, that
what?
would cost too much. The fix
But what would
would
it look
cost.
like? Would you not wear anything at all and keep it in the drawer?
I probably would. So it probably would be best that if he wants it worn, it needs probably should be fixed. Yeah.
So you going back on what you just said, just to be
I
clear.
did because but
Okay.
that's because he can go back to where he designed it and say, hey, I missed the mark on this. She don't like this at all. So can I exchange this, trade this in, get what I paid for this diamond, and get her the right one? That can
So
be
I,
done.
I think it's mostly it's a couple of love languages in there. So it's mostly an act of service that he thought he was doing. But when
Okay.
you personally design something, I think
Okay.
that's when you don't get the money back guarantee part.
No. He can exchange the diamond.
Yeah.
The
Or
diamond
we can
itself, yeah.
explore, we can go
Yes.
together and explore all
Yeah.
options that we can
Yeah.
do with this ring and find the
Yes.
best one.
Let
But
me
Yes.
this
ask
ain't it.
let
Yeah,
me
but
ask an important
I
question.
don't like a round diamond. So
Let
if
me
he
ask
can do something and get this in an oval, then we may be good to go.
let me ask an important question that we might be overlooking. Is there any lady, all three of you ladies have been proposed to and received rings, right? Let's just establish that. That's a fact. Okay, you guys don't have to answer. But my question is, were any of you in a situation where you were surprised with an engagement ring?
I was surprised when it was presented to me.
Okay. Was any of you in a situation where the first time you seen your engagement ring was the first time you seen your engagement ring? Damn,
I feel like
damn.
it was the first time I seen it because we were at a different level, but I was super grateful for it. Like I was outside of my
Wait.
budget.
I don't
The
understand what you're
question
saying at all.
is,
I don't understand what you're saying at
was
all.
it or was it not the first
First
time?
time you seen it.
Yeah,
Yes.
you said you felt like it. No, was it or was it not?
Well, what I was showing was outside of my price range at the time, young and dumb. And what I was presented with was a paid for ring, but I still have that ring to this day. I enjoy it. And then I got another ring at our 10-year
Okay, hold on,
So
hold on.
that's
anniversary.
lovely. That's lovely.
That's right. Keep her on, bro. Keep her on.
But was that the first time you saw the ring or not?
Think so, yeah.
Okay, so he
Judge,
surprised you.
could you tell her to answer my question, Judge?
Do you think so,
Yes,
or
it
do we
was
need
the
to ask
first
somebody
time I
else?
saw the ring.
Okay,
It was
damn.
the first time.
Okay, cool. So when you saw your ring for the first time, do you give any value to the surprise of seeing it for the first time, laying eyes on something that this man invested in to spark or to initiate his desire to be with you for the rest of his life? Is there any value to that at all?
I believe it was.
Thank you. Okay. So what I'm saying is there's a subset of women out there that don't want the surprise to be taken away from them. But what I'm hearing from the panel here is I'd rather pick my own shit out. Just so we just so ain't no problems. Instead of you getting all excited and doing this on your own, I would like to set the tone of don't surprise me. Let me pick out for me because it's gonna have to do with me more than it has to do with you. Is
I
that what
think
I'm
you're
hearing?
totally hearing wrong.
Okay, cool. Anybody else agree with her?
In my situation, I was asked to go to the jewelry store with my boyfriend at the time, so he could see what I like.
Which engagement ring was this?
You know what? We ain't even gonna do that.
Oh,
Okay, cool. All right.
wow.
My bad.
Both. Thank you.
Oh, okay,
Both.
okay, cool. Yes, and both. Cool. All right.
Yes, and both.
Is
Okay,
this
cool.
your experience?
So, so I showed him what I like. If he would not have gotten that exact one, I wouldn't been upset. But if it would have looked close or similar, would have been fine. But if it would have looked totally different, I'd have been like, well, what did we do that for? So
See, that
that's
was
just
my
my
experience.
experience. I don't know, Shonda, what was your experience?
I think we talked about it. I think
Y'all
months
memories on
later
this
we
love.
probably
Yeah, this
no,
love didn't mean as much to y'all as it meant to y'all husbands. Let me just let y'all know that.
we
Because y'all
talked
like,
about it.
I had ate a
Well,
hot dog. I remember the hot dog, but
we talked about it,
Chili
and then I
cheese.
think a couple of months later we went to the jewelry store.
Think dude missed the mark because you got to know who you dealing with. Some people care about jewelry and how it looks. Some people have a tolerance zone, and some people want the exact ring. You got to know the person.
Went to the car, and when he came, I put the kids in the car, and when he came to the car, he bought the ring. I didn't know he was going to buy a ring, so thought
so
we was just looking.
and I understand what you were saying, bro, about missing the mark. Here's the situation. Let's just say we talking to a young couple and they at a point where 2 months from now, 4 months from now, Christmas time, he's going to propose. is the way in which he should go about this to involve her in the whole thing, or do you believe that most romantic women have a desire to be surprised and whisked away in this entire fantasy of being proposed to on one knee? And of the three of y'all, which one of y'all is Jumbotron proposers? Okay. Okay. Shot.
Me.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't want that. How people do it on social media now, they walk in the room and everybody and they mama there. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Mine was very intimate, and I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need anybody else around.
Now let me ask you
If it's
this.
If it's a
Hold
young
on.
couple, go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Just because of who I'm dealing with. If you were post sexual relations and got proposed to immediately thereafter in that level of intimacy, would you turn it down?
Heck, I don't know.
Dang.
That's not my story.
Okay. Okay. Anybody? Is that harder to turn down? Because we just did it?
Not for me, it wouldn't be.
Damn.
How long have you been together when this happened? This is like the
Wait a
first
second.
night.
And
or
was
what?
it?
You just
And was
said
it? Wait a second. And was it a good one?
Yes.
You like it? How long are you together?
No,
And
I'm
was
just
it a good
saying. Then we couple of months. How long?
Two and a
This is
half years.
crazy.
The standard 2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And let me ask you this: would you prefer for him to propose after y'all do it or before y'all do it?
That question doesn't make sense.
I said, what kind of question is this? Is not what this
It's
is
almost
not
like
what this
with a man,
podcast is about.
as men, would
That's
you
a
rather
man
ask
question.
before or
You know
after?
why? You know why? Because I'm trying to make sure that the man get a higher rate of success. She made the term. She
What?
made the term intimate. She used the term intimate. It was a real intimate setting. It was like intimate. Like he was trying to make sure.
It could have been at dinner.
It
They could have
was
had a
not
nice
like
romantic
that.
Oh,
dinner
really?
or
That's how
something like
intimacy
that.
work. That's how intimacy work in your relationship. I didn't know. My relationship is not intimate at restaurants. I'm sorry.
Mine was it was
could've
very
been home.
special, but it was just the two of us, which I thought was super special. So let me say it like that.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's what I thought when you say intimacy.
Let
I
me
was like, oh, so
correct.
he hit. So he hit, and then was like, hey,
Oh my gosh.
before you or I fall asleep, will you do me the honor?
No, my husband was smooth with it. So we we were at his mom's house like Christmas Eve, and we always exchange gifts around Christmas Eve at midnight. And so we went on the front porch at midnight and he had me open my present, which was a Build-A-Bear. And the Build-A-Bear had his voice recorded in it because we had spent so much time long distance. And the Build-A-Bear was dressed in a tuxedo with a little top hat, and it asked me to marry him. And when I looked up, he was on his knee with my ring. Thank you.
And then looked up there. That's cool though.
Oh, that is pretty cool, Shonda. You gonna share yours?
Nothing like
He paid for the ring and the bear. He paid for the ring and the bear.
He did a donut in the forklift and said, "Here."
You better get up off my man.
Ours was in the parking lot at the jewelry store.
Okay.
Plain
Okay.
Teddy Drive.
But you
Yeah.
I
got what
like
you
that.
want though,
I like
didn't you?
that. He was
Mhm.
he was
That's what I'm
efficient.
talking about.
He was efficient, and we're gonna go home and do it. And let him. Would you like to share yours, Mel?
So my boyfriend at the time, our relationship was long distance. So he came home a lot. So almost every time he came home, he would stop somewhere like bubblegum machine. You don't see him a lot anymore, and would present me with a ring that he picked up from the bubblegum machine. And so I was getting those monthly or 2 times a month, however often he came home. And so we were in Miami on a trip, and he gave me a ring in a little thing that you get out the bubblegum machine, in the little. And so I just put it on thinking it was another one that he got from the bubblegum machine.
Long game.
And
He was playing the long game.
well, I didn't really, I had so many, but I was like, oh,
Yeah, I
wow, I
know.
like this one probably the best out of all the
Right.
ones he's presented with me before. You presented to me
that
before.
white gold. Yeah, that white gold hit different after 25
I
cents.
guess so.
He put 2
And
quarters in it.
Right.
I was like, this one cost 50 cents. Yeah, it didn't cost 25.
Right.
And later on that afternoon, we were at the pool. And I saw him talking to this lady, and I'm like, why is he talking to this lady? Because if anybody knows, my boyfriend at the time, he does not talk to people he don't know. And so,
Mhm.
and she's like,
Funny,
yeah, and smiling. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so then that's when he proposed to me with the other part of my engagement ring.
Aw.
Yeah. That was
So
that
do
was
y'all
that
like
was
the
it.
one knee, or can he do like a pop block dance and say, "Here you go"?
That's not. I don't think I ever. Like how some people I think plan out their whole everything in their head from a young girl to whatever moment it happens. I didn't have a desire of how I wanted it to go. So it didn't matter. I had on a swimsuit. I hadn't, that was never in my cards. Yeah,
I
we
don't
were
think it
at the
just depends
pool.
on your story too. Like, what's y'all's relationship? Goofiness you have in it, or like, what's it based on, or how do y'all interact? So I don't really think it really matters.
And what about you, Shauna? Did you have a dream, like a thought, or how did you want it to go versus how it went? Okay.
So let me ask you this, Shonda, because you started this conversation off. So you are in the group of thinking that because she told him she didn't like it, she was ungrateful. Or, like I said, I don't feel like she was ungrateful. I feel like, you want to be honest. But I do think,
So,
okay,
yeah, I wouldn't say that she's ungrateful.
okay.
But what I would say is that this moment that they're having
Huh?
depends on how they play this out and how they work this out. Is going to be part of the foundation of their marriage, because there's going to be plenty of times that if she doesn't play it right and it hurts him, he'll never want to surprise her or do anything on his own again. And then she'll feel like, well, why you don't surprise me, or why you always got to ask me if I want this or want that? Just surprise me. And he's gonna be like, hell no, not gonna do, because the scar is gonna be there. So it just depends on how they work it out. I mean, she could say, well, okay, I'll keep this, and then 5 years from now, we're gonna go get the ring I really want. Like, if she talks to him and say, it's not the style that I want, but I'm okay with it, then, and later on I can get another ring, the one that I want. But if it's just I don't want to wear this and give me something else new, I don't see how that's going to be good for them in the future.
Auburn, what's your take on it? Because I think everybody else on the panel is married. You're not married. Would you get the woman's input? Would you do it on your own? Would you be upset if you did it on your own and she didn't like it? What's your take?
I would not do it on my own. Well, first of all, I'm old enough to know that all women are not created equal. You got to know who you dealing with. And if her thing is jewelry, and I know I'm not a jewelry designer, I'm just trying to do this, then I'm off base. So it's nothing. If getting to know her at this point, I should know her pretty well, and I know that's important to her, then I will make sure I get the input. And if she just don't care about the ring, then I would surprise it. But that's probably a very low percentage of women who don't care about something that they wear every day. And I would be upset if somebody surprised me with a car, because I like cars. I'm gonna wanna I wanna have input. And I think this is a lesson that both of them should learn. She should definitely tell him and not suffer in silence, in my opinion. I would be upset if the woman that I love is over there suffering in silence for me, because we can't communicate correctly. And he needs to know different types of leadership, not just dictatorship. And just because you designed it means she's gonna like it. And like Shonda said, he will have his feelings hurt. That's soft. That's not really a man's man, because you shoot again. Just because you missed a shot don't mean you never shoot again. You can keep trying to surprise, and hey, sometimes she's not gonna like it, but hey, if she like 80% of my surprises, then I'm good.
I don't know. I don't agree with you on that one, because in some men's defense, I will say it does not make him less than a man because he don't want to shoot again. Y- You you can only take so much of someone telling you, I don't like what you're doing. And it can be outside of jewelry and clothes. It could be your food, how you cook, or how you clean the house. In a marriage, you can get tired of someone constantly shooting you down. They In some marriages where people just stop and don't try no more
Why
because
is
Well,
that?
they're tired, they're burnt out,
it's
and
how you shoot.
it's how you shoot them down
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that will
yeah.
make them not want to try again.
I know I'm not a good food picker if you never like none of the food I pick. So I would stop that. and I'll move to something that I'm good at.
Let me clarify that though. You're not a good food picker for her. There's someone for everyone. You might be the best food picker in the world for someone else, but the issue is that you run into is that it's obviously the way in which you go about it, but how many things have to happen on a grand scale? Being proposed to or getting engaged is one of the top 5, 10 moments in your life, right? You know, it's the wedding, it's the engagement, it's having kids, it's buying the first house. Like there's certain things that you mark off as milestones for your adulthood. So because this is such a big milestone and has such a big weighted average, I think wanting to get it right and just I'm asking women from a woman's perspective, this is a story. You guys have had great stories, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. It was your story. Like she said, that's my story to tell. You've had great romantic stories that have existed throughout your marriage, and all of you have had long-term marriages. My question is, this woman here with this ring that you see on the screen, you all have daughters. You hope, I believe, that your daughter at some point in time gets proposed to. If she's reenacting this situation, are you giving her the same advice that you're dispensing right now? Or do you say, no, we see this a little different in how we get down?
I think for me, it would depend on I'm never gonna say not say something about something that you don't like. You know, I don't want her to be the suffer in silence. I'm never gonna say suffer in silence. But and not in this instance, but in the instance that maybe this was all he could do, then if you know, my thing is, you like how they be like 3 month salary.
Yes.
No, you ain't got to do all that, because
For you.
because for me,
Okay.
and I was trying to instill those same thing in her, but like, well, what about it? Do you not like? You know, can you do something? If it's if it's
Uh-huh.
you would have preferred gold over white gold. It's like,
Uh-huh.
well, that's probably a little something that and after, like they said, if you let it go for 6 months, you gonna get so used to it, you don't realize it. But I would tell her, my thing is, like, honesty is key, communication is key. It's not it's and it's probably how you present it, but I wouldn't be like, what you buy this bullshit for? I don't like this. Like, who was you thinking of when you did this? Because that might have been your old girl. Because I don't, no, don't do all that, but just be like, hey,
Uh-huh.
let me
Yeah.
ask you some questions, because you never asked me. Like, you could at least the shape. The shape,
Yeah.
You
you
big on that
have
shape.
to
You big
ask
on
them
that
what shape they prefer,
Yeah,
because
That's why I say it depends on how you
it's how,
say it to
it,
him. It's
it,
how you say it to him. Because you can say it. It's just how.
it's how. And I
Let,
would
let
prefer
me ask this.
just
Let me ask a
a
better question. Better question. When do you say it? Because he's on his knee, and I don't care how young he is, he's still got to balance himself on his knee, and he's hoping with his puppy dog eyes that you say yes. So do you say yes, but
no, not
like
right
how does
then.
that
No,
work?
I wouldn't.
I'm not
I
right
wouldn't at
then.
then. Yeah, because
Don't ruin the moment.
I'm saying yes to the marriage. I don't like, and I'm not. I'm saying yes to the marriage,
Okay.
and I'm saying
Yeah.
yes to our love for each other. We can figure this ring thing out. Like I said, it was disrespectful to take it to the internet. Like,
Right.
but that's the
And
world we live
uh-huh.
in now. People do things for likes
Uh-huh.
and comments. But it does bring up a conversation, like, because I got upset, 'cause when the lady, someone I work with, presented this to me, and she was like, Carla, would you say something? And I was like, yes. And she was like, so you would wait like 6 months or so? Oh, no, 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 no. No, it would be 6 months or so. Less than 24 hours. But that's me. But anybody who's dated me knows that's me. If you
Yeah.
dated me for long enough to know that I want to spend the rest of my life with this lady, you already know what you're getting. If I don't like it, I'm gonna see it. But the same thing for him, because also when I was proposed to, and when I went out to buy my fiance's ring, I got his input, because I wanted him to like it as well. Like I loved mine, I wanted him to like and want to wear his. So I didn't just go pick out my fiance's ring and didn't ask him what he liked. Show me what you like. Do you want gold? Do you want silver? What did you ladies do?
I mean, to
Nope, I
me,
already know. T, you the messed
no.
up.
What I'm saying, what I was trying to say is, to me, I can understand somebody being like, well, not understand, but if somebody was like, I don't like this because of the price, then that's a different type of conversation. And I think that's a bit ungrateful if somebody's getting what they
That's
can
too
in their
much
means.
counting. Too much counting.
And but when you're talking about style, details, and things like that, because I feel like this conversation goes beyond a ring. It can go beyond anything, things that you do for romantic dates or spending time with a person. It could always be that you don't ever ask this person's input. You just do things and then you feel as though you've done something amazing, but it may not be the thing that interests them. And you're saying that you're doing it for this person. So I definitely think that communication is effective, but I think this conversation can go beyond the ring.
But when do you tell him that you don't like it?
Oh yeah, I feel like you should tell him. Well, I feel as though if it happens, I'm not going to embarrass you on a knee. I'm going to say yes, but then let's have a conversation about it immediately. I'm with Carla, like within
Immediately?
24 hours.
What?
Let's have a
Oh,
conversation
24?
immediately about it.
24? Okay. Sean, how long do you?
Agree with the 24, not in the moment, not that day. And then, we can talk about it. But
Is this?
I just feel like this story is missing so much because just like what T just said is you should you should know that person. But if you're the type of person that's always doing surprising and not asking this person for input and that person never had an issue with it, now because it's such a big moment for this person, they felt like they should have been involved. How come this conversation hadn't happened before this ring?
Understood.
I think that's a
Like,
bigger
how do we know if
conversation.
he asked her and if he said, "Hey, I want to design a ring for you" or whatever, and she said, "Well, go ahead. Well, I don't care. It don't matter to me. I just want a ring."
And that may have
What it
happened.
sound
Yeah.
like with this conversation, this lady wouldn't like that.
This concludes another episode of the Hollow Points Podcast, where we act as your therapeutic outlet on topics many think about but are afraid to speak on.
Oh, you're welcome.